Hello students, this is Vijay. Today I will be giving you a demonstration of the kite, reel, sunglasses, hat and water bottle. So these are the objects which I have kept in front of me. I would like to mention here that this was a question paper during 2015-16 academic year if I am not wrong, for Art 1 for the ICSE board examinations. So right now what I'm doing is like I'm giving outline. You can see the paper color which I have chosen is vermilion, that is a red in color, and it's like picking up the color of your choice for the paper is your choice completely. Like you have a liberty, you can select the paper of your choice. Council also says like child can pick up the color of the paper of whatever he or she wishes to. And why I'm giving this outline in black color, because you know, like it should be visible to you clearly. Otherwise in pencil the outline it becomes very difficult to uh, show or to catch in a recording. So you can see now, after drawing the sunglasses, then hat and then the reel, now I'm coloring kite. And like while giving outline, you can see that most of the area I'm filling it in such a way that it's completely whole patch. So yeah, it's done. So you can see now my outline is almost done. This is the water bottle. Although while drawing the water bottle, one thing struck my mind that my water bottle can be a simple one. I mean, use and throw water bottle. So I will definitely put that in my composition, and I will remove this one right now since it was kept in front of me. So I drew this, but later on I'm going to change this water bottle. You can see now my horizon line is almost done. So in 10 to 15 minutes I have finished with my outlining, and now I would be going ahead with the coloring part. So this is it, my outlining is work is finished, and my next work of yeah, this was my composition. I just kite I was not having, so I just drew the sticks with color with a sketch pen. So just one square paper in kite shape, and this what I'm showing you the color. Yeah, so you can see what I'm showing right now is the color bottle. These color bottles are like you know, this is a one is a yellow ochre, then second is vermilion hue, then there's a burnt umber, burnt sienna, Persian blue. So they are the colors. Actually, this background which I'm coloring dark is like, you know, the reason why I color background, make my background dark, is like it helps me to show good contrast for the object, and object comes out very quickly and it looks prominent and clear, and automatically background and this is a recommendation to each one of you, like you should always keep your background dark, and naturally you'll notice that your foreground is you know, it comes out. So I'm showing my color palette also, like yellow was the color of my kite, and now when I was coloring my kite, naturally the color which I had given to the initially, so that color is coming out. So although I'm going to control it, but then in your case don't merge the entire paint with the initial outline color. Of course you are going to do your outline with a pencil. I have done my outline in color, so this problem you are not going to face. Now you can see I have put a lines also, you know, for the kite, uh, and now the next thing what I'm going to do is here is the I'm going to start with the rest of the coloring, like rest of the object I'm going to pick up, and this is the hat which I have chosen to, so chosen for completion now. Hat was in burnt sienna, so burnt sienna color was used for the hat, and I'm observing continuously and applying the paint. So like the light was coming from the top side, from the upper side, and Here you can see my dark tone and middle tone, they are almost done. So here my hat color is almost completed. Now this was the first filling which I had given, and this is what I will recommend to each one of you. Whenever you paint any part of the object, just go for the like, don't go straight away for the like from the finishing point of view. First you just give first filling, then in the first filling you can just apply middle tone, then you can just apply dark tone. This is what I can recommend for the first filling. Then when you go for the second filling, then just go for the once again darker shades and middle shades, and this time lighter shades as well. And finally for the last filling, you can go for the like darker shade, medium shade, and again lighter shade as well, along with highlights. And then later on, just see that the work has the proper tonal values. Even if when you deal in a darker area, that you have 3 dark shades. When you work in the middle area, you have 3 middle shades. When you work in a lighter area, you have 3 lighter shades. And when you work in a reflection tone, you have proper 3 tones for the reflection tone as well. Now you can see initially sunglasses were very close to hat. Now I have changed the place of the sunglasses. Plus I have removed the water bottle wherever it was earlier, and I have kept simple water bottle there now in my composition. Simple in water bottle in the sense use and throw water bottle, because that was more subjective. And changing of object in composition, that liberty you must use. I'm not saying like all the object, because the core objects of the composition you cannot change, but rest of the object which are connected to the main object, those objects you can definitely change. And here you are now. I am coloring the reel as well. So now this entire composition is having first filling now, except sunglasses and the water bottle, and more detailing is taking place on a hat now. So like dark tone, middle tone, lighter tone. So you can see now the hat is in color. I'm making it sure that burnt sienna is added with yellow ochre, and this is I will recommend to each one of you. Do not take color straight away from the bottle and apply it on the paper. That is not a good habit. Always take color from the bottle, put it in the palette, and when you put it in the palette, just ask yourself like, what exactly the color tone do you see when the object is in front of you. Like if the object is in light tone, so while dealing with the object, like take the actual color and then add white, take the actual color and then add black or Persian blue or ultramarine blue. This is a simple logic which you have to remember while coloring. And when you are master in catching the tones, automatically you'll find the object starts looking exactly 3-dimensional. Initial stage is quite tedious, and it takes a lot of energy, but then as soon as you keep on completing, gradually you just have to keep on adding the lights, and you will notice that the things start looking real. Because initially when I drew the outline, I was also not knowing that I am going to come across with this result. I just keep observing and kept applying the tones what I was preparing. Same thing I will tell you. Observe, ask yourself what exactly is the tone of the object, create that respective tone in your palette, then give a slight touch to the object, check it after applying whether the tone is same or it's not same. If it's same, go ahead and color it. If it is not same, then just come back to palette once again and recreate the shade and then apply. But remember, until and unless you are not sure with the tone which you have prepared in your palette, you should not apply. Even whatever amount of color you might have spent in creating the shade, but then if that shade is not matching to the object which is in front of you, then you should not make you. Now I'm coloring the kite spool, the thread of the kite spool rather, and you can see that actually the thread of the kite spool color was violet in color. And you might be asking what I'm doing now. So I'm right now coloring the kite spool. Kite spool was green in color and the thread was in violet. So you can see my kite spool handle and thread is completely colored. Although the detailing of the same I will do it later on. Right now I'm coloring the sunglasses. So sunglasses was like it was like, you might have observed this kind of sunglasses where the vermilion hue, or sorry, not vermilion hue, where the ultramarine blue is more. Now you can see the color of the sunglasses and the color of the thread is almost close by, but then can't help out. I am catching the reality. So, and plus I am not changing the color also, although I have liberty to change the color of the thread and change the color of the sunglasses, but then I will not do that. And in my previous videos also I have mentioned one thing that like each object should have the minimum this tonal values like medium tone, dark tone and lighter tone, and how those tones should be. That is clearly described in my previous videos. Well, now I'm coloring the frame of the sunglasses. While coloring this, I noticed that my other side of the sunglass is not very much big. It was looking a bit small. So while coloring, I made this modification. Right now I'm coloring, but then after coloring I realized one side is smaller, one other side is bigger. So this modification later on I can make it in my coloring, and you will also come across with these situations when you will start painting. You will notice certain area is not proportionate. So in that case, you can make the necessary changes, like the change in outline. It's very much important that your outline should be at the end of the picture. Your outline should be very much proportionate, because that is the main thing which the examiner is going to observe. That is the symmetrical object. Has it been colored and drawn symmetrical or not? That is the main question which examiner is going to ask. So now you can see I'm making modification and I'm trying to balance both the side, and I'm trying to show it that it's a symmetrical object. And the brush which I have chosen here is a round brush. Usually the combination of flat brush and round brush I am carrying while coloring. And same thing I'll recommend you as well, that whenever you will color any very much small and pinpointed area, go for the round brush. Whenever you will color the larger area, you can go for the flat brush. Now you can see I have again taken a flat brush in my hand, and this time, like you might have seen, that my water bottle was already ready. My shadow I'm putting off hand. So this here I was not going to color actually, because here I was going to take the advantage of paper color. But again, you might not understand what I have done, so the reason why I'm coloring the foreground as well. But again, here I have taken the same color as a vermilion color. So at a glance, if I wish to say that what is the background color, so background color is a deep red, and what the foreground color is a light red. Now I'm coloring the spool, the kite spool I'm coloring here. The thread which was there was violet in color, and this was a little bit tricky, yet the thing is not very much clear to you all. You will find everything is like overlapped in such a way that the objects are not very much clear. But I'll tell you, dear students, as I will keep on coloring, you will find that all objects are looking beautiful, clear and separate, and forming a good aesthetic composition. So and this situation you will also come across with. You will initially find it very much tedious and frustrating, that in spite of spending 2 hours, you are not getting a clear and accurate result. But believe me, you just have to keep on adding the details, and gradually that stage it automatically comes where you yourself start finding the picture more interesting, because this all is a game of observation. I would call it is a game of observation only. Because think which is in front of you is in a larger format. In the same larger format, you have to decrease, and the small the decreased print you have to reflect on your paper. So it's like very much big tussle of your observation, and big challenge of your observation, like what you're observing. So everything exactly same to same you have to pick up with your eyes, and you have to drop with your mind on your paper with the help of hands and fingers. So this is the right now what I'm coloring is the handle of the kite spool. So handle, the end part was aluminum, and this part which I'm coloring right now was in plastic, and this the outer edge of this kite spool was green in color, but that was in plastic. So that is done now. Uh, uh, Here you will notice one thing, that when you will also try to color, uh, you would start observing my observation, and you will see, Array, I am also trying to do the same, but why I am not getting this result. So just remember my first instruction, initial instruction. I said like apply middle tone, light tone, dark tone initially, first filling. Then second filling, that is again middle tone, light tone, dark tone. Again third filling, middle tone, light tone and dark tone, and reflection tone also, and a highlight also. So this technique you will have to carry for all the objects. Then definitely this kind of result you will come across with. Don't expect directly that I am continuously coloring for 3 hours and I am not finding this result, what sir has brought. But the result which I have brought in front of you was like, it is a lot of study also which I have done earlier. Same thing you also have to do earlier, right now, and don't expect that at the end of the picture your result and result which I have shown in front of you will be same. No, there will be a little bit of variation, because what I have done, everything I am not able to describe, because few things are like, we can say, we say now all the time like few things can't be described. So it's like that. I cannot explain you all the time that what was the brushing style at that time, what was the mixing sense at that time. All I can say, like color should be like a paste. It should be like a paste. The way you apply, I always give this example, the way you apply butter on bread. So same thing I will tell you. You have to keep applying that butter on your paper, and the butter of color you have to apply on paper. You might have observed just now that 3 to 4 times I touch the kite spool, and I am trying to bring justice, and I am trying to show it more three-dimensionally clear, because that's what my main objective is. At the end of the picture, I want to show each and every object so much clearer, proper, that one should be able to, at a glance, he or she should say that yes, this is the quality work which I can see. And same thing I will expect from you. Now the glasses were vermilion hue. No, glasses were in a ultramarine blue. I added vermilion in the ultramarine blue, because these glasses were a little bit transparent as well. So I have to make it a point that glasses I have to show in vermilion blue, in ultramarine blue. At the same time, I have to show that somewhere the vermilion hue background has been reflected via those glasses. And that is it. Now I can say that yes, my here you can see I am struggling with a flat brush to achieve the result, because what flat brush will give you, that round brush will not give you. But again, being a learner, you will always say like, sir, we are like not able to deal with flat brush. Then I would say that yes, go ahead with the round brush initially. But later on, wherever it's required, try to pick up the flat brush. Now you might have seen that I have given highlight on the sunglasses. Upstairs, exactly on the top of the composition, there was a tube light on the ceiling. So that tube light reflection was falling into the glass. So that tube light reflection I have shown. And now this is the highlight on the edges of the frame, which I have shown with a white color. And again, I will not use all the time white only for all the highlights. Somewhere I will just try to make it a bit dull, not 100% white, but say 99% white, 98% white, 97% white, 96% white, 90% white. As per the requirement, I will diffuse the color, diffuse the intensity. And my foreground again I am coloring. Here there is a strong light, so I showed the vermilion hue plus a bit white. And then the strong light I am showing. Again shadow of the hat. And this small minute details I am showing now to make my picture more better and clear, and this I will recommend to you as well, that always try to show all the details. This will always give you good. This habit is very good. Do not underestimate this small detailing. This is very much important. And being an art teacher, I am not able to finish my picture within 3 hours, and being a student, you always think that why to hand over the paper before 3 hours, because many students I have seen that they hand over their paper within 2.5 hours or 2 hours 40 minutes or 50 minutes. They say, sir, my paper is done. Don't do that. And this entire video which I am prepared, that has consumed more than 20 or 25 hours. Now if you say that, sir, being a teacher, if you are taking 20-25 hours, then being a student, how do you expect the work within 3 hours? See, when I was making this picture, I had kept this intention in my mind that I am preparing demo, and this demo has to go with details to the students. So I have to take care of the color palette, which I have to again take care of the camera angle. Then I have to take care of the free slots which I am getting, and because I was doing it in my lecture time, so I have to take care of my attendance, and again I have to take care of the class control. So keep this reason it consumed almost 20 to 25 periods. So near about 20 periods, I won't say 25, but near about 20 periods it took. So now I'm coloring the thread which is on the top of the hat. Again, when it comes to time management, I will tell you, when you sit for the coloring, do not have a discussion with your friends, and do not keep showing them that what you have done. Just keep on doing, and don't talk with anybody when you are coloring your picture, when you are completing your picture, because I told you, like, you have to concentrate continuously. Now what I'm coloring is like, I saw that there was a thread on the hat. So now you can see what struggle I am coming across to show those threads very much clearly. So this really helps you, dear students, that when you try to show, now that wire was like, it was having these style of plates, like it was continuously intersected to each other. So the intersection also you have to show. Then only your picture is like starts creating the three-dimensional effect. Now you can see I am mixing a little bit background color in a foreground, and again foreground color and the object color also in the background. This I will recommend to each one of you, that merge your background and foreground color in each other, because that creates your picture, turns your picture into painting. Otherwise, what is the difference between the photograph and painting which you are doing? Then anybody can take the photo also and say that, see, my painting is done. These are the techniques which you have to use to make picture more interesting, to show picture more realistic. I repeat what I have done. I mixed my background color into foreground in objects, and object colors, the edges, into background and foreground colors. So altogether, at a glance, I want to say that outline should not be very much sharp like a blade. They should get mixed into the background and foreground. This technique you should not forget. It's very interesting technique. You should follow this technique. And here what I'm doing right now is like there were dots via which those threads were intersected into hat. And now what I'm doing is like I'm putting the highlights on those on that intersection wire which was kept on the hat. You can see the extreme end of that hat is mixed in the background and foreground, so it creates a three-dimensional effect. One feels like, yes, it's coming out of the background, like one feels like I should go there and pick up the hat. Perhaps that badge which is there on a hat, that company, the logo of that hat was on a copper badge. So that copper badge I am trying to create now. So you can see I'm not losing the smallest details also. I'm not missing it out. I'm making it sure that it's shown, it's reflected in my artwork. So that makes my picture more interesting. Now as you can see, it has created solid break to that black outline, and that monotonous effect has gone, and a lovely effect has come on that hat. There were 3 holes on that hat, the upper part of the hat. So those 3 holes, beside the 3 holes there was a copper ring. That copper ring also I am trying to show. Then you can imagine how much care I have taken to show the details on the hat. Here I am using round brush, and somewhere if I see that there is a too much high intensity, white has gone too strong, so you should always decrease the white tone, because too much of white also makes picture dirty. So remove, in such cases straightway remove that white if it is too much, because highlight should be such that it should not prick your eyes. It should look soothing and smooth. That is it. Now that part is done, and well, I will not talk much about the hat. You can see the details only, that what I'm doing, because I told you, like, everything I cannot describe here. You have to watch, you have to understand certain things, that what I'm doing. So if required, you can enlarge the screen and you can see what I'm doing. So you'll find that I'm putting up the holes now, where the wire has been like the weaving of that hat is done, so stitching of that hat is done. So you can see that how the thread has passed from each hole of stitch. So that also I have shown, and I was very much clear about my shadow also. Which shadow? The shadow of the hat. How much strong should be shadow? And my shadow is reflecting right now. That light is falling from top. So your picture should be having that quality, students, that your picture must reflect that my light, it's falling from left, right, top. This much though at least you should definitely show. That though I will definitely insist on. That one thing I will definitely insist on, that your picture must reflect that from which side light is coming. Otherwise, what is the use of this all efforts? You can do the sketchman work also in that case. If you are not careful about this small thing, that your picture is not reflecting from which side the light is falling, then what is the use of this all efforts? So that care definitely you have to take. And plus you have to keep white also in control and the shadow also in control. It should not be too much light. It should not be too much high key also, and it should not be too much low key also. The meaning of high key and low key is like too much. It should not be too much dark also. It should not be too much light also. Now I'm coloring the background. As I told you, like I like keeping my background very much dark in color because it helps me to show my object very much light, clear, brighter, and in front of the system. So I repeat, I'm making my background darker, but at the same time, I will take efforts to show few folds also, and same thing I will recommend you. Now I'm putting up folds, and you can see that yes, my background is looking dark and object has naturally come front. Here also, and yes, this is not black color, it's a red plus Persian blue, then burnt umber and a little bit touch of black. So this thing, this tone I have used in my background, and my background is completed now almost. I am giving final touches to my background, and now this is done. You can see I am continuously using my brush to make things more proper. Yeah, here you can see my brush was having more tone of black, but it was not 100% black, students. It was again the more tone of black, and it was helping me to. I was using this tone for the to show that there are few folds in the cloth. You can see my horizon lines clear, my folds, you can see 2 or 3 folds are seen, and my objects are very much visible. And now I'm using yellow tone to show kite. You can see my kite is completely light lemon yellow now. So I'm decreasing, I'm keeping that yellow in control, because yellow is like has color, has a lot of intensity. If you don't control that color, then you can see now I'm mixing the background. आप बोलोगे what you've done? Then here what I'm doing, I'm mixing my background and foreground color in a kite. So my kite also looks a part of the background. So I tracked my brush in such way where the outside color has come into the kite. But don't worry, that should be shown. Otherwise, it will look like cutting and pasting. Now I'm putting this stick of the kite, and since the bottle is transparent, so I have shown that yellow color also a little bit in that. I read that says that water bottle is transparent. Ahead of this, I have colored the water bottle much clearer, much better. I have shown the details on the label also, like the bottle is of Actifina company. And then again it has a logo. That logo also I have tried showing. So the more detailing I have done to show my picture more three-dimensional and real. Without that, there is no shortcut. You cannot say that show us some path via which we will take less effort and we will achieve good result. No, there is no shortcut in this regard. You have to you have to travel from this struggle only to achieve the result of shades and tones which is in front of you. Now you can see wherever the bottle was like overlapped the kite, that area is in yellow color, because kite is in yellow color, and wherever the bottle is overlapping to background, the background is in red color, so naturally bottle is also reflecting its red color. And again there is a blue label to the bottle, so that blue reflection is also somewhere it's reflected on a bottle. And you can see my bottle is much clearer now. And this is the bottom part of the bottle which I am coloring now. That was highlighted. can see my the angle of the painting. I kept it in a little bit front now, and the color of the kite I have changed it a little bit. This was not the design which was following on a kite, but then I made this change. I wanted to show that kite more interesting. So this design of the flower and the two tones on the kite, this I am putting it deliberately to make that kite, to show that kite more interesting. Otherwise it was just looking one fresh yellow patch which I wanted to remove, and I removed it also. So my kite is now in almost three tones now. The upper part is in yellow color, the middle part is in orange color. Again, there is a flower on the kite, so that is in green color. So now my kite is quite colorful, and it's looking more real. Like you can see, I'm merging that. I'm taking that background color in a foreground. And that is it. It's more better. It's more beautiful now. I'm putting a little bit of highlight on the kite. These sticks of the kite were not in front of me, so it was a little bit challenging for me that how will the picture look like. But in your case, dear students, I would recommend you that please do not take any shortcut. Try to show as good as possible. Try to show as real as possible. Try to create the shade continuously. Keep struggling on the shades. If you are not satisfied with some result of the shade, please do create a new shade, and do not apply color straight away from the water to the object. I mean, like suppose anything is in blue, you open the blue shade and you straight away dip your brush in a blue shade and apply it to the paper. No, there is no actual color on the which means except few areas. There is no actual color which is to be applied. जैसे कि the kite was yellow in color, so I did not take yellow initially. You might have seen my first patch was in dark when I was coloring kite, and now you only can see the stage. I'm making my border more dull now because my borders were very much sharp, and the sharp borders would have shown a little bit very much like painful effect. I mean to say, it would have pierced the eyes. So what my intention is that after when your picture gets completed, you should try to smooth your outline wherever you feel like few outlines are very much dark and it's creating hard impact. So I did the same thing with my kite. It was creating hard impact on my eyes, so I just diffused the outline by mixing it with background with the objects, and it's better now. My foreground, my background, my objects, they are much clear and better now. The tube light is reflected in the sunglasses. Frame is done, and left and right side of the sunglasses are almost fine. I'm adding the details of the frame. As I told you, like I don't want to put light tone only everywhere. These are the few details which I'm applying. These are the final detailings which is making my picture more better, more clear. You can see that the aluminum handle was also shining, so I have shown that highlight of aluminum also. And means there is no end. Means even if I want to take this picture to the next level, I can work for more 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, or 4 hours and make this picture more and more realistic and beautiful. Keeping in mind that I have to maintain the originality of the painting. Otherwise, what is the use if I keep mixing everything? Somewhere the patch effect has to be seen. Otherwise, picture will look photogenic. Means it will look like a photo. Then there is no difference between the photographer and artist. Because patchwork has to be shown, but at the same time you have to keep that sense how much patches should be seen.